everyone, and welcome to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Coming to you live from John Stella Field at Brown Park, we bring you day number 2 of this 4-game set between the visiting Dakota State University Trojans and the home team, the Bellevue University Bruins. A much better day unfolding before us today than what we saw yesterday. Yesterday we had clouds, we had wind, we had cool weather, we had occasional showers. Today, right now, it is 62 degrees with a light breeze out of the west at 10 miles an hour. Expect the temperatures to get up to the upper 60s today. The wind is supposed to pick up later on in the day, but a much nicer day for baseball. Welcome back, everyone. Mick Krupski here behind the microphone, getting ready to do this third game and fourth game. Hopefully no 15-inning games, or my voice may not be able to hold out for the 4-game set. Coming into today's action after the split yesterday of the doubleheader, the home team Bruins are 39-8 overall, 23-3 in the North Star Athletic Association. One game behind the Dakota State Trojans, who are 24-2 in conference, 34-14 overall. So the Bruins need a doubleheader sweep today to win the conference regular season title. Dakota State just needs one win in the 2 games today, and they will secure the conference championship. Bellevue has been the conference champion in the regular season for almost the entirety of the North Star Athletic Association's existence, so the Bruins would like to win the regular season title, obviously, and then next weekend take the postseason tournament title to get that automatic bid to the NAIA National Tournament. The meeting with the home plate umpire and base umpire and the 2 head coaches is now concluded. Darian Hardy, the 4th-year head coach of Dakota State. Dwayne Monlix, the 13th-year head coach of the Bellevue Bruins. Let's take a look at today's starting lineup. First of all, for the visiting team, the Dakota State University Trojans out of Madison, South Dakota. Leading off for the Trojans and catching, Ryan McDaniel. Batting second and playing center field, Walker Huntgren. Batting third, the left fielder, Jeremy Green. The cleanup hitter is the right fielder, Mason Macaluso. Batting fifth and playing first base, Jace Pribble. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Chris Burke. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Cade Wenninger. Batting eighth and playing third base is Dawson Fortner. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Hakeem Yatim. On the mound today in game number 1 for the Trojans will be Nikolai Arbach, a 4-win, 2-loss record on the season, a 4.41 earned run average on the season. Here's the Dakota State lineup once again: McDaniel, Huntgren, Green, Macaluso, Pribble, Burke, Wenninger, Portner, and Yatim. For the home team, Bellevue Bruins, leading off and playing center field, Kanta Kobayashi. Batting second and playing second base, Drew Staley's. Drew's moved up in the order today with the injury to Connor Barnett. Batting third for the Bruins, designated hitter Logan Grant. The cleanup hitter for the Bruins today will be the third baseman, Nick Grade. Batting fifth and playing left field, Jake Lacey. Batting sixth in right field, Anthony Lind. Batting seventh and playing first base, Mathieu Sirois. Batting eighth and catching, Trad Richardson. And batting ninth, the shortstop, C.J. Townsend. On the mound for the Bruins in game number 1 today, right-hander Alex Salicio. Alex, 7 wins against 1 loss on the season, a 4.40 earned run average. Again, the Bellevue batting order will be Kobayashi, Staley, Grant, Grade, Lacey, Lind, Sirois, Richardson, and Townsend. So a little bit different look to the Bellevue lineup today in that batting order. Connor Barnett was injured yesterday, re-injured. And so Drew Staley moves up to the 2 spot. Logan Grant now hitting third. Nick Grade, the cleanup hitter today. Trad Richardson will get the start behind the plate for the Bruins today. Logan Grant, who caught every single inning of the doubleheader yesterday, 15 innings in game number 1, 7 innings in game number 2. So 22 innings are giving his legs a rest for game number 1. Expect him to be behind the plate in game number 2, the 7-inning contest. The Dakota State Trojans now being introduced by Simon Falcon, the public address announcer. Dakota State wearing their combination of colors of blues on their top, the horizontal stripes with gray pants. For the home team Bruins, they'll be in their gold jersey tops with purple and white trim and white pants. The Trojans are now being introduced. West as they are on the third base line. Their head coach, Darian Hardy, in his 4th year leading the program. Alec DeMaria and Miles Kumo, his 2 assistant coaches.
Now, let's meet the starters.
Again, I would like to remind you that if you would like to be part of our broadcast, we heard for about 24 people yesterday. That was a lot of fun. If you'd like to join us, send along a text message. My number is 402-515-7654. I'll give that number to you several times during the day. Some of you may still have it from yesterday. Bellevue fans, you've had that number all season long. We appreciate you being part of our broadcast. The Bellevue players take to the field. That means we're just moments away from the starting action today. The Bruins and the Trojans to see who's going to win the 2023 regular season title in the North Star Athletic Association. The Trojans with a 1-game lead right now. They need 1 game in the doubleheader to win the title. If the Bruins sweep, they will be the regular season champions.
Catching for the Bruins, number 13, Trav Richardson.
2-man umpire and crew today. Tim Arndt will be behind the plate. Braxton Arndt, his son, will be the base umpire. An experienced crew of umpires doing the game today in the North Star Athletic Association Championship Series.
Number 14, Alejandro Celicio.
Next week will be the conference tournament. Friday, May 5th is the start through May 8th. That'll be held at the home of the Dickinson State Blue Hawks, Dickinson, North Dakota. So a 12-hour bus ride from here as we get ready for our national anthem.
America, the playing of our national anthem.
All right, national anthem in the books. I put the headset back on. Thanks once again to Bill Mullins, Bellevue's sports information guy. He'll be providing us with all kinds of information during the course of the day. Again, we'd like to let you know that today's series is part of the NAIA Baseball Big Series of the Week, as voted on via Twitter at NAI Ball. So a little bit bigger audience maybe today as people concerned, wanting to know the result of this one. Alex Celicio will take to the hill for the Bellevue Bruins. Starting pitcher now making his 13th appearance on the season. This is 11th start, 7 wins against 1 loss. 1 complete game for Alex on the year. He's thrown 73 and 2/3 innings, has allowed 72 hits, 36 earned runs, walked 16 but struck out 66. A nice ratio there, 4-to-1 plus in strikeouts to walk. Averaging about 8 strikeouts per 9 innings, 4.40 earned run average for Alex. Across the infield, it's Mathieu Serrois at first, Drew Staley at second, C.J. Townsend the shortstop, Nick Gray to third. Across the outfield, Jake Lacey in left, Kana Kobayashi in center, the right fielder Anthony Lynn, and Alex Celicio will be tossing to catcher Trad Richardson behind the plate. Leading it off for the Dakota State Trojans will be the catcher, Ryan McDaniel. Celicio from the windup. The first pitch is down low, ball 1. Ryan Daniel hitting .312 on the season for the Trojans. At the top of the order, here's the next pitch from Celicio. There's a called strike, outer half. Nice location there. Alex will work from the windup with nobody on base. His first step will be laterally towards first base. Then he'll gather himself at his balance point and deliver a nice breaking ball in the zone. 1-2 the count on the leadoff hitter, Ryan McDaniel.
It's out of the way enough, I think.
McDaniel, one of 5 Trojan players who have played in all 48 of their games this year, tries to check his swing. He's able to do so. The count will go to 2-2. Ryan McDaniel, Walker Hultgren, Jeremy Green, Chris Burke, and Dawson Portner have appeared in all 48 games this year. Foul back to the screen. 2-2 the count remains. A beautiful day overhead right now. Just a few scattered clouds. A gentle wind, a flag out in center field, barely moving.
If I remember to, I'll send him an email.
Line hard. And past the diving Drew Staley into center field. So Ryan McDaniel will lead off with the line drive single to center field. And as the Trojan catcher, we'll have a courtesy runner coming in for him. Yesterday it was Daniel Lesher, and that'll again be Daniel Lesher will be the courtesy runner for the catcher.
Next to the plate, the
Next
fielder.
to bat for the Trojans, center fielder Walker Hultgren. Hultgren, the leading guy on the Trojan squad in batting average, .410, on base percentage just under .500, and slugging .688. Walker Hultgren. 1-1 now the count as Felicio working from the stretch to the left-handed batter Walker Hultgren. Quick throw to first base, close play, but Lesher back in time.
Faster than you normally do to keep it fairly brief.
Lesher, a freshman from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the runner at first base. Again, the quick throw over there, back in time. Madison, South Dakota, the home of Dakota State University, about a 3.5-hour drive or so. There's a nice pitch located on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. As Alex, the senior out of Chula Vista, California, the San Diego area, comes set at the shoulders and delivers a swing and a miss. And Alex notches his first strikeout of the game. 1 on, 1 out. Next up for the Trojans, the left fielder, Jeremy Green.
Batting the third spot, the left fielder, Jeremy Green.
Green, one of 2 Trojans over the 400 mark. We already said Walker Hultgren leading the team at .410. Green right behind him at .404. The set, the pitch, chopped hard, but right at third baseman Nick Gray. The throw to first base is in time. Had to wait for the base umpire to make it official. Jeremy Green hit it hard, but right at Nick Gray. His throw across the diamond doubles up the runner, Daniel Lesher. Lesher strayed too far off the base. So a doubleheader puts an end to the inning. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. After a half, the Trojans nothing, and the Bellevue Bruins coming to bat.
Otherwise, a fantastic job.
Let's set the defense for you for the Dakota State Trojans. Very similar to what we saw yesterday. First baseman is Jace Pribble. The second baseman is Hakeem Yateem. The shortstop is Chris Burke. And the third baseman is Dawson Portner. Across the outfield, Jeremy Green is in left. Walker Hultgren is in center. And the right fielder is Mason Macaluso. Behind the plate once again, Ryan McDaniel. And on the mound in game number 1, right-hander Nikolai Arbach for the Trojans.
Very generous with that DeMaio.
This is the 12th appearance on the season for Arbach. This is his 6th start. He has a 4-win, 2-loss record with 1 save. He's pitched 32 2/3 innings, has allowed 38 hits, 16 earned runs, has walked 9 but struck out 45. So a 5-to-1 ratio there with the quick math, huh? 4.41 his earned run average. So the 2 starting pitchers almost identical in earned run average. Arbach at 4.41, Alex Alicio at 4.40. 1/100th of a difference in their ERA on the season.
A little bit more now after scoreless tops of the first.
Bruins top of the first, so Alex Alicio's earned run average will go down even further with that one. As Arbach gets his warm-up tosses. Arbach, a sophomore, a tall target out there on the mound at 6'8". South Dakota native, Haiti, South Dakota. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of Haiti, South Dakota. Hayti. Bellevue Athletic Director Ed Lahotag joining us here in the press box. Welcome aboard, Ed. And we've got a ton of text in there already in the queue. Let me see if I can get to them. We'll get to them in the top of the second inning. All righty. Here we go. Leading it off for the Bruins in the bottom of the first inning. Center fielder Kanta Kobayashi. Kanta hitting .401 on the season. That's tops on the Bruins squad. First pitch, fastball, outer half, called strike one. In addition to leading the team in batting average, Kanta leads the teams in hits, runs, and at-bats. On-base percentage just under the .500 mark. Another fastball, good pop on those pitches from Arbach. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Kanta will now have to be protective of the strike zone. Let's see what Arbach comes with ahead, 0-2. Low and away. Tried to get Kanta to chase. Kanta doesn't usually go too far out of the zone. A good contact guy.
Kanta doesn't swing. It's not a strike.
Kanta's only struck out 23 times on the year. Takes that one off the right cheek, the lower cheek. And he'll be the base runner to start the game for the Bruins. So that'll improve his on-base percentage. Next up for the Bruins, second baseman Drew Stella. Drew moves up. He's normally been about the 7 or 8 hole spot, but hitting .374 on the season. He's done a great job. Even better in conference, Drew hitting .427 in North Star Athletic Association play. Good contact guy as well. Kobayashi gets his lead at first. Shows bunt, puts it back to the mound. Arbach gets it, flings it out into right field. Kanta Kobayashi will go all the way to third on the play. So a sacrifice and E1 on the throw puts Bellevue runners at the corners. Didn't quite get down into right field. A good job by Hakeem Yateem, the second baseman, to back up the play at first. So the Bruins with an opportunity to get an early lead. And the next batter, designated hitter, Logan Grant. Grant caught 22 innings behind the plate yesterday, so getting a chance to rest his legs a bit in the DH spot today, as Trav Richardson will be behind the plate. Here's the first pitch from Arbach. First pitch swinging left field, but it's going to hook foul. Bellevue with 2 on, nobody out, bottom of the first inning. One more time, we'll say, hey, Bellevue needs to win 2 today to win the regular season championship. Dakota State needs to win 1 as they enter the action today with a 1-game lead. Throw at first base, almost a balk. There was really no step that way by Arbach. Staley resumes his lead off of first base as Grant awaits the pitch. Sacrifice bunt up the line, and he's safe at first. A delayed squeeze by the Bruins, executed to perfection. Logan Grant will pick up the RBI and a base hit. As he hustles down to first base, Kanta Kobayashi scores the first run of the game. Drew Staley down to second base, and the Bruins up 1-0. Nicely executed. Safety squeeze there. By the time Arbach got off the mound to handle it, he had no play at the plate on the speedy Kanta Kobayashi, and his throw to first late on the speedy Logan Grant. The Bellevue cleanup hitter today is third baseman Nick Grade.
We beat Wisconsin Whitewater 1 year.
Grade a .350 average on the year. He shows bunt, puts it up the third base line. Portner charging, gloves it, throw to first. That will not be in time. So the Bruins, whose bunt game yesterday was not very good, showing off to perfection today. So the Bruins have the bases loaded. Staley at third, Grant at second, Grade with the bunt hit at first, And the batter will be the left fielder, Jake Lacey.
We've just been setting teams up all year. Now we're just
Lacey, the leading RBI guy for the Bruins. 65 runs batted in on the year, hitting .341.
never rule it out.
I did it once. Be that more common.
A chance for a real big inning for the Bruins in the bottom of the first. Lacey takes the first pitch, ball one. Pops away out of the glove of Ryan McDaniel, but not far enough for an advance. Again, we want to let you know, the backstop is very close to home plate, so a wild pitch, pass ball's not an automatic, easy chance for the runner from third to score. Lacey trying to hit something to the outfield. Line foul against the screen above the Bellevue dugout up the first base side.
Well, now that we've got one, we really need to put 3 or 4 more across. Just kind of put it away early, so to speak.
Both hits in the inning, bunt base hits for the Bruins, along with a hit by pitch and a sacrifice error. Nikolai Arbach comes set right about the belly button. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2 the count on the Bruins left fielder. Lacey, not only the leading RBI guy, the leading home run guy for the Bruins with an even dozen on the season.
16.
McDaniel sets up off the outside edge of the plate. That's where the pitch goes, a swing and the miss. The strikeout is the first out of the inning, first strikeout of the game for Nikolai Arbach. Next up for the Bruins, right fielder Anthony Lind.
Batting 6 spots, the right fielder.
Anthony hitting .344 on the season with 37 runs batted in. Trojans trying to turn a double play if they can. Lind trying to get something to the outfield. Base hit, sacrifice fly. Lays off that breaking ball outside, ball one. Anthony takes a quick look down to head coach Dwayne Monlex. Bruins with 1 run in, 3 base runners on. Low and away now, 2-0. Here's where Anthony's going to be real selective. His favorite pitch, his favorite spot. Something he can drive to a gap. Righty-righty matchup between Arbach and Lind. Called strike on the inner half. Now 2-1. Not the pitch that Anthony wanted. A good take there is that he would have just gotten jammed on that pitch up and in.
8 points toward
The set.
well over 1 per inning.
And the pitch. Line hard to second base. A chance for 2. 4 to 6 to 3. And the Trojans get out of trouble in the bottom of the first inning on the double play. The strikeout and double play, just what they needed to avoid further damage. But the Bellevue Bruins do pick up 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. As we finish up the top of the first inning and the bottom of the first inning, it's the Bellevue Bruins 1 and the Dakota State Trojans nothing. All right, let's get to some of those text messages that we got in the queue here. There's all kinds of them here. Yard work is done. Coffee is hot. Time for some Saturday morning/afternoon baseball. Hubba, Hubba Bruins. That's from Cade Sakamoto's family out there in California. Sound is very low. Okay. My meter is showing where it should be, so yeah, check the computer and see there if there's some issue going on there. Okay, this is telling me there was no volume on the feed. Bill's going to take a look at it. All right, he's checking out the controls here. All right, hopefully that has adjusted everything. Thanks again for the awesome broadcast. Let's go, Sealy and the Bruins. Mom and Dad are watching from San Diego. And again, the sound check is very low. So, all right, Bill's got that taken care of. Somehow it got skewed between yesterday and today. So more text messages to come in the next half inning. Top of the second for the Trojans. Right fielder Mason Macaluso. Mason, with 55 runs batted in, leads the team. 11 home runs also leads the team. Chop foul past head coach Darian Hardy. Tries to make a soccer play on that one, kicking at it as it goes by. Macaluso, another one of those guys who's hit much better in conference play. A 327 average for the entire season, 396 in North Star play. As Salicio tries to get Macaluso to chase the high fastball, he lays off. Now 1-2 the count. Picture perfect day coming to you from John Stella Field at Brown Park. That one goes over the helmet of Macaluso. He's able to duck out of the way. Two the count on a cleanup hitter leading off the top of the second inning. Popped up, but that'll get out of play right side. Macaluso, a 6'2" junior from Gilbert, Arizona. Just misses off the inside. They say it hit him. So the second base runner of the game becomes Mason Macaluso. The next batter, first baseman, Jace Pribble.
Batting the fifth spot, the first baseman, Chase Pribble.
Pribble hitting .294 on the year. First baseman, third baseman. First pitch swinging out of play. Very similar to what we saw yesterday. The Dakota State batters very aggressive, swinging at the first pitch they see in the strike zone. Macaluso, a short lead at first base. Good fastball from Salicio as he gets that one past Pribble. 0-2 the count. 325 the distances to the fence down the left and right field line. 380 to straightaway center field. About 360 or so to the power alleys. Popped up, shallow center field. Drew Staley going back. Kanta Kobayashi coming in. Who's going to take charge? Nobody. The bounce, Anthony Lynn tries to get it with the bare hand. But his throw to second base will be too late. 3 Bellevue players in the area, but nobody could quite get there in time. So that'll be a hit 'em where they ain't. Base hit for Jace Pribble. Mason Macaluso now at second, so an opportunity for the Trojans in the top of the second inning. And shortstop, Chris Burke.
Batting the sixth spot, the shortstop, Chris Burke.
Burke 325 on the year, but 379 in North Star play. Showing bunt, popped up. Who's going to take charge? It'll be Alex Salicio. We'll glove that for the first out of the inning. So the failed bunt attempt.
A little more alert. He left that drop for a 1-5-4 double play.
Next up, designated hitter, Cade Wenninger.
Good point.
Next to the plate, the designated hitter, number 12, Cade Wenninger.
Wenninger DH'd in yesterday's second game. He's hitting .267 on the year. Had a 2-run home run in the 7th inning to draw the Trojans to within 2, but Bellevue hung on to win game number 2 by a score of 6-4 after dropping the opening game in 15 innings, 9-6. Strike called on the outside corner.
To right field?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hit.
And then, like, the sun is...
I don't think
Wenninger, one of
I don't think they lost.
3 left-handed batters in the Dakota State starting lineup. Behind in the count now, 0-2. Again, another nicely located pitch on the knees on the outside corner. Salicio's been working ahead of every hitter thus far.
Way more time than he thought he did.
Tries to shoot wide. Richardson set up off the corner. A chase pitch that Wenninger didn't chase. 1-2 down the count.
Mascot's day is done. Earning that scholarship money.
Swing and a miss. Blocked up by Richardson behind the plate. First base is occupied, so no need to throw it with less than 2 outs. Second strikeout of the game for Alex Salicio. And next up, the third baseman, Dawson Fortner.
Batting eighth, the third baseman.
Fortner hitting .294 on the year, .307 in conference play. First pitch, breaking. breaking ball called strike one. Again, working ahead is Salicio. Alex was one of 7 seniors honored last weekend on Senior Day. Alex in the top 10 career wins for the Bruins, 21 wins in his 3-year career. Pop foul out of play down the right field line. 0-2 the count.
Also up to 185 strikeouts now.
185 strikeouts during his 3-year career. Could get over the 200 mark, yet with conference tournament play and NAIA opening round play coming up.
Move into the top 10 today with 4 more.
Chopper foul. Third base side.
The school record.
Stupid. 303.
303 strikeouts is the Bellevue career record.
Hall of Famer Mars Wilson.
Mars Wilson, Hall of Famer, holds that honor during his 4-year career at Bellevue University.
I believe Drew Staley played for him in high school.
Yeah, somebody played for him, that Drew Staley, I believe, up in Oregon. Line foul out of play. Utah, excuse me.
He's in another Bellevue event.
Utah, Oregon, they're both west of here, so.
Western Nebraska, some might say.
Count remains 0-2. Salicio kicks. A look in to Trad Richardson. The pitch. Blocked up nicely by Trad on a pitch in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Yeah, flyover is a little late for the national anthem, but we're kind of in the pattern between both Epley Airfield and Omaha. Little chopper in front of the plate. Salicio calls for it, picks it, throws it right on the money. Alex Salicio with a nice athletic play to get out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 men left on base after an inning and a half. The Bruins won and the Trojans nothing. Continuing, finishing my thought, Epley Airfield, the commercial airport in Omaha, and Offutt Air Force Base, the military base in Bellevue. All right, another one of the comments that turned the volume up. Okay, we got a couple. Sorry we didn't get to those sooner, but we've got it going now. All right, so
Confirmation it sounds better.
there we go. Yeah, if you want to confirm that it sounds better. Okay, there's another one. Okay. And my granddaughter got her first hit in softball today. Yay! My mini Bruin and I are locked in for the doubleheader today. Let's go Bruins. That's the Locke family. They'll be rooting on up here in Montana as always. And what a little cutie there. Sent a picture as well with 2 thumbs up for the Bruins. That's the family of Eric Locke, Bellevue pitcher, early 2000 teens, something like that. Yeah, but again, yeah, that's good there. Otherwise, it gets all distorted if it goes up in the red. So, yeah, if somebody listening who could confirm that the volume is now fixed, we would appreciate that. Oh, yeah, all right, we're double checking again here. Is this plugged into the right spot? Yeah, everything's going through the sport mix. All right, we'll continue on as Bill plays around with all the wires there. Leading off the bottom of the 2nd inning for the Bruins, first baseman Mathieu Sirois. Mathieu hitting .371 on the year, an even .500, 31 for 62 in conference play. His dad and grandpa both here today for this weekend series. Strike one called on the first offering from pitcher Nikolai Arbach. All right, so again, if everything has been fixed, if that sounds good, please let us know. Foul back to the net, 0-2 on Mathieu. Mathieu with the home run yesterday. That was his 10th of the season. Pop foul down the right field side. Bellevue had 4 home runs in game number 1 yesterday. Mathieu protecting the plate on the 0-2. Line hard, one-hop smash, gloved by Portner, the third baseman. Across the diamond, 5-3 on the play for the first out of the inning. Hit well, but right at the third baseman. Here now, the Bellevue catcher, Trad Richardson. Trad 369 average on the year. Spends time behind the plate, spends time at first base, spends time as a DH. Arbach sends that one way wide.
Jeff Dittler just sent a note, says still low.
All right, so Bill is trying to get the sound is a bit louder, but not very loud. So he's working on that as the next pitch.
Do you have any idea what you're doing, Simon? It's all you.
You guys changed it on me.
That was how we...
Okay, thank you for the work. Oops.
Audio mixer, desktop audio is on a...
That one's always muted.
Hit in the air to center field. Coming in on the play is Walker Holtgren. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Sound is a bit louder, but not very loud. So he's
Thank you. I think we're good.
working on that as the next pitch. Okay, it looks like it's coming through well now, so we've got some confirmation that perfect. All right, that's what we wanted to hear. Thank you for your patience with that, and thanks for letting us know. That's kind of how we got this text message thing started back in the day, as stepping up to the plate is shortstop C.J. Townsend. First pitch swinging off the net, foul ball. Bellevue used to play their home baseball games at Westgate Field in Omaha, which was in a terrible spot for internet connectivity, and we would frequently lose the connection during the course of the game. So we started just kind of playing around, said, hey, if we lose it, call this number so we can get back on. And it has turned into a very fun way to let me know, let you know, a little two-way street with our fans. 0-2 the count on CJ. CJ 247 on the year, but 319 in conference play. He's been a regular at shortstop since the injury to Brendan Luther. Done a nice job there. His batting average has gone up with that steady playing time. Breaking ball, tries to check his swing. They say he does not. And the strikeout is the second strikeout of the game for Nikolai Arbach. A 1-2-3, bottom of the second inning. 2 innings in the book in this scheduled 9-inning contest. The Bellevue Bruins 1 and the Dakota State Trojans nothing. All right, so hopefully we've got all those audio snafus. Hum baby, go Bruins, go Seegers, get this title, you got this. All right, that's from our Oregon fans up there. All right, good now, perfect. Great, thank you for letting us know there. Let's go Bruins, #1 fan watching from Chula Vista, California. Let's get it. Alex Salicio from Fanny. And a happy party emoji as well. The sun shining brightly on Alex Salicio as he heads back to the mound for the third inning of work. 1 run on 2 hits for the Bruins, no runs on 2 hits for the Trojans as we continue play in this season-concluding regular season finale between the Bruins and the Trojans. These two squads head and shoulders above the other teams in the North Star Athletic Association. Only Waldorf University with an above 500 record in conference play. Leading off the top of the third inning, the 9-hole hitter, second baseman, Hakeem Yatim. One of those very fun names to say. Alex from the windup, first pitch, up and away, ball 1. Yatim hitting .271 on the season. Another guy hitting better in conference play, up to .350. Had a good day yesterday with several hits. Strike 1 call there, evens the count 1-1. Fouled over the top of the backstop, 1-2. Trad Richardson getting the start behind the plate today for the Bruins. Logan Grant has been there most of the season, but that one gets away on the pitch low in the dirt. It'll be a strikeout and a wild pitch on the play. So your team becomes the base runner. Alex will pick up his third strikeout of the game, but the wild pitch allows your team to reach. And back to the top of the order for the Trojans.
The catcher, Ryan McDaniel.
Here's the catcher, Ryan McDaniel. Alex working from the stretch with the runner on. First pitch swinging, throw to first base. A nice pick by Mathieu Serrois to keep that from going out into right field.
Sure.
McDaniel got a base hit his first time up, a solid single to center. Now 55 hits on the season for McDaniel. Snap throw to first base. Your team back pretty handily there. Yesterday we had most of the people in the crowd wearing sweatshirts and jackets and parkas and blankets. Another quick throw, a little closer play that time. Today, a lot of shorts and t-shirts in the crowd enjoying a lovely spring day, the next to last day of April. One more time. This time it gets away all the way down the line. On the air, Hakeem Yatin was going to try to get all the way to third base. And on the dive, he will come up. So the E1 on the play on the errant throw by Salicio gives the tying run for the Trojans a chance at third base. Your team looked like he burned some energy. First having to dive back to the base and then going 180 feet. Bellevue will play the infield in. Runs precious and few. So the Bruins don't want to give anything up here. McDaniel awaits the pitch. Breaking ball popped up. That'll stay in the infield. C.J. Townsend shades the sun with his glove, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. One on, one out. The batter now center fielder, Walker Holtgren.
Next to plate, the center fielder, number 36, Walker Holtgren.
Holtgren struck out his first time up against Salicio. Alex gets the call on the knees outside corner. Home plate umpire Tim Arndt is known for having a generous strike zone, so both teams should adjust to that. He's consistent both ways, blocked up on a pitch into the dirt by Richardson. A little outside there, now 2-1. On the outside, Black once again. Count goes to 2-2. Grade, Townsend, Staley, and Serrois, the Bruin infielders, trying to cut down the run if they get a chance on a ground ball. Salicio trying to get the strikeout. That would be big. And he does. Pops out of the glove. Let's say foul tip. So Holtgren will stay alive as Trad Richardson couldn't quite squeeze that. Alex with good pop on his fastball. He can get it to around 90, 91 miles an hour. Alex comes set at the shoulders. Hitting that outside corner once again. The strikeout is the second out of the inning. Second time that Walker Holtgren has gone down. And it'll be up to Jeremy Green, the left fielder, if the Trojans are going to get a run on the board. Green with a kiss of his bat as he steps in to the batter's box. Trying to see if there's some love in the bat for him. Green, first pitch swinging on the fastball, back to the net. 0-1. Again, Salicio working ahead in the count. Tip of the cap to Dwayne Monlux as he pops out of the Bellevue bench to retrieve that errant baseball. That fastball up high, 1-1. Richardson puts down the signal, and Celicio delivers. Nice pop on that fastball. Oh, 1-2 now the count on Green. Green lined out his first time up into a double play. The wind and the pitch. And it hits Green. A fastball that ran in on him, nowhere to go, took it off the back. So the second hit by pitch by Celicio puts runners at first and third for the cleanup guy, Mason Macaluso. Macaluso was the first man hit by pitch today by Alex. As he takes off his cap, wipes his brow before getting back to work.
Mason Macaluso.
Macaluso, the main power thread in the lineup, a breaking ball. Strike one call. Bellevue trying to work out of trouble at the top of the third inning. C.J. Townsend fields it. He'll go a long way across the diamond over to first base. And the inning comes to an end. C.J. Townsend on the nice play. A little assist off the side of the mound. For the Trojans in the top of the third, no runs on no hits. There was one error and one man left on base. Excuse me, two men left on base. After 2.5, the Bruins lead it by a score of 1-0. All right, I've got some more texts here to catch up with. Way to go, Nikolai. Let's go, Trojans. Mama Thor is watching in Minnesota. Glad you're with us today on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as Nikolai heads back to the mound for his top of the fourth inning.
Montero was a 4-year starter at shortstop for the Bruins and was named to the All-District 6 team 3 times. In Joe's senior season, he led the team in home runs, doubles, triples, batting average, and RBIs.
Thankful to be part of Coach Mollick's first 2 seasons in 2011 and 2012. And the volume is now on point. Again, that comes from Eric Locke. And thank you for the great broadcast. Always fun to bring these broadcasts to everybody on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network.
The best in the nation, leading the NAIA in hits per game and ranking among the national leaders in doubles per game.
All right, and we've got confirmation from Teron Williams family listening in Kansas City that the volume is now where it should be, and they're listening and enjoying the ball game. Teron, part of the Bellevue bullpen core,
They have 2 children.
the leading guy with saves on the season.
Congratulations, Joe, on your induction to the Bellevue University Hall of Fame.
In between innings, we had a recognition of one of the newest members of the Bellevue University Hall of Fame. That's Joe Fonfera. He was a 4-year starter at shortstop for the Bruins and was named to the All-District team 3 times. So congratulations to Joe and his wife Mary and their 2 children Clayton and Carly. Joe Fonfera, newest member of the Bellevue Bruin Sports Hall of Fame. As we get to the bottom of the 3rd inning, Kanta Kobayashi will lead things off, tries to check his swing but can't quite do it. Kanta was hit by a pitch his first time up. That pitch on the outside corner, now 0-2.
Well, they need to do a better job.
We know it's a wide strike zone. It's been both that way for both teams, so both teams have to adjust. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, that's in the zone. And Kanta goes down looking for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Bruins, second baseman Drew Staley. Staley reached on an air his first time up
Second baseman
on his nicely located bunt.
Like we've been good for a long time. It'd be kind of cool to have like generations of ball players hanging out.
Nikolai Arbach. His first pitch to Staley's up high, ball 1. Arbach 4-2 on the year, 4.41 earned run average. Gets the pitch there on the knees, 1-1 the count on Drew. Arbach, 32 2/3 innings coming in. Just a bit outside. Staley awaits the next pitch. Swings and misses at a breaking ball. Sharp break on that. The Bruins are 27-4 this year at Brown Park. An enviable record for the home field advantage. Foul out of play, first base side. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bases empty. Bruins got 1 run in the 1st inning, had bases loaded beyond that, but couldn't cash any more besides the 1. Upstairs, count goes full. So the Salt Lake City native, Drew Staley, awaits the payoff pitch. Chopper up the left side. Portner, the third baseman, bobbles the play.
Infield hit.
And it'll be called an infield single, as it would have been a tough play for Portner to handle and then throw to retire the speedy Drew Staley. So Drew ups his average once again with that infield single. It'll bring to the plate designated hitter Logan Grant. Logan with a base hit his first time up. Had the first RBI of the day for the home team. Catcher Ryan McDaniels goes through a series of signs for his infielders, what he wants to do with the play. On the outside, Black. Arbach works ahead. Yesterday, we had about 50 people inside the press box huddling up for the warmth. Today, the windows and doors are open. People enjoying the patio outside as well on this beautiful day. Breaking ball misses outside.
And a very nice crowd.
1-1 the count. Yeah, nice crowd on hand today. A lot of folks from Dakota State coming down to the ballpark, and loyal Bellevue fans as well. Families, students. Alumni Day as well. Swing and a miss on the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Pop up left side. That'll get out of play. Heads up, people walking in. Always amazed when foul balls are heading into the crowd and people don't look up to see where it's going. They put their heads down like turtles and hope they don't get hit.
Playing ostrich.
End up like Simon Birch's stuff.
Again, the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be a called strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for Nikolai Arbach. 4th strikeout of the game for the right-hander out of South Dakota. Next up, third baseman Nick Grade. He too had a single. A bunt single his first time up today.
Batting cleanup spot, third baseman Nick Grade.
It's like late 90s.
Staley gets his lead off of first base.
That's a pro.
Throw over. Staley back in time. Arbach doesn't really step to first on the throw. He just kind of turns at the hip. That front foot is pointed that direction, so that's how it's not a balk. Fastball, outer half, called strike 1 on Nick Grade. Thanks again to Nick's parents. They brought me some treats yesterday to say thank you for the broadcast. It's a lucrative job. Strike 2 called. Got some smoked salmon and some Washington State Chucker cherries. No, I didn't share it with Bill. Sorry, Bill. My wife enjoyed them too. Here's the pitch. Into right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Stella around second on his way to third as Nick Gray delivers the clutch hit with 2 outs. Now runners at the corners for the Bruins. Nick Gray with his second hit of the game. Well, the Bruins with another scoring opportunity. Jake Lacey, the left fielder, will step up here. Dwayne Mollix goes through signs in the third base coaching box. Ryan McDaniel goes through signs for his infielders from his catcher spot.
Lacey.
Gray, the runner at first, does have 3 stolen bases on the season. A pretty good lead there. Pitch on the knees for a called strike 1.
And out. He's coming down. Good day to pitch.
Yeah, it's a big zone. You got to be ready for it. Tim's been around umpiring for many years at the high school and collegiate level. That pitch off the outside edge, 1-1. Former student of mine back at the old Gross High days. Here's the 1-1. Tries to check his swing.
Not by much.
2-1 the count. As he does check his swing.
Is that same dad from yesterday? Yeah, okay. Complaining about every single call.
He's the umpire. Just
Foul tip, back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on.
3 games.
The batter, Jake Lacey, trying to come through for the Bellevue Bruins, extending their current 1-run lead. Lacey, the leading RBI guy with 65 on the season.
Like, those guys don't get paid anything.
Had a couple of RBIs yesterday. Foul out of play. Jake had 2 runs batted in the second game.
Like, your kid's 9 years old. Like, he's got 10 more years playing ball. Anyway.
And a solo home run in game number 1.
What up?
Here's the 2-2. Hit in the air to the left field side. Shortstop going out. Left fielder, Howard, taking charge and has to adjust for the winds, and an acrobatic catch falling to his side. Jeremy Green stayed with one, and the side is retired. For the Bruins in the third, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. 3 innings in the book in this scheduled 9-inning contest. The Bruins won, and the Trojans nothing. Once again, we want to let you know that this series is this week's NAIA Big Series of the Week. We'd like to take a moment to recognize the founder of NAIA Ball. That's Cody Butler. However, Cody tragically passed away during this off season, but his memory and legacy will continue to live on in his contributions to NAIA baseball. Thank you, Cody. This weekend is also Tanner Lusk Remembrance Day. Tanner Lusk was a little girl who lived in California but came to the Omaha Bellevue area for medical treatment for Ewing sarcoma cancer. She fought it for several years, had some success, but then ultimately had to succumb to the battle. She became a little mascot for the Bellevue crew back in the days when Mike Evans was the head coach, and we continue to remember her. A collection will be taken during the course of the game today in the fight against childhood cancers. First pitch to Jace Pribble, the first baseman, a breaking ball for a called strike 1. Pribble got a base hit his first time up, drop one in between 3 players in right center field.
2 parts to that.
Again, the breaking ball, swing and a miss, 0-2 the count.
No big deal. Number 2.
4 strikeouts through 3 innings.
Some bags that are in rough shape where it's gone.
For Nikolai Arbach, 3 strikeouts for Alex Salicio. That one's lined into right field. Anthony Lynn right there to looking into his glove for the first out of the inning. Shortstop Chris Burke as the next Trojan to step to the plate.
Well, because it was foul.
Right. And
Stepping up to the plate.
Kind of a combination of navy and Columbia blues and grays on the uniform's top, similar to the old Houston Astros uniform back in the 70s and 80s. Their colors obviously brighter than the blues of Dakota State, but a similar pattern to the horizontal stripage.
Don't give umpires chances to make mistakes because they will.
That one's lined hard into center field for a base hit. Kobayashi tracks that one down a couple of steps to his right. But Chris Burke with a ringing single with one away. He's the runner at first as the designated hitter, Cade Wenninger, steps to the plate. Wenninger struck out his first time up today.
Did he say he missed
Designated
the tag?
hitter, Cade Wenninger.
But did the umpire say he missed the tag?
He didn't give an explanation.
Oh.
But because our coach got a takedown on Tuesday.
Wenninger has played in 19 of the 49 games on the year for the Trojans. Strike one called on a breaking ball at the knees.
Just want to understand, was there a missed tag? What did he beat it?
Here's the best part. One of the parents from Bellevue was taking pictures.
Throw over, Sarah with a nice glove save over there, saving Alex a second throwing error.
Clearly out by 50.
The Bruins averaging 9.8 runs per game this year. Dakota State averaging 6.9. And base umpire Braxton Art tells the Dakota State dugout, gives them a warning. I don't know what was said.
Something that bad, so.
I mean, all they do is chirp nonstop, so it could have been.
There's been quite a bit of chirping, as Bill has mentioned, during the course of this series from the Dakota State side, a little from the Bellevue side as well, as this series is pretty intense, battling for the regular season championship. Choppered on the first baseline, that's foul.
For 9 innings, it was very, very good. And then it changed mid-game.
That's true.
0-2 the count on Cade Wenninger, the designated hitter, batting in the 7th spot for the Trojans. A few more clouds starting to drift their way overhead. Chopped on the ground to second. Staley fields it, has handle getting it, and his only play will be at first base. Wenninger is retired 4-3. Chris Burke advancing to second base. Would have been a tough chance for a double play as Drew was moving to his left-hand side. Got the handle and made the play at first base. Next up, third baseman Dawson Portner.
Batter's box, the third baseman, Dawson Portner.
Because they're just a bunch of classless dipshits, basically.
Alex trying to work out of a 2-out situation here. Paints the outer half with a fastball on the knees. Portner grounded out on the comebacker to Salicio, his first time up today.
Well, you played like, what, 16, 17 this week?
But still, like,
A lot.
Breaking ball misses outside, 1-1.
I'll look at the rest of the announcements
30
sometimes.
pitches, 30 pitches, 30 pitches, 30 pitches with our pitchers.
Style.
We decided to go with our starters for 70 and 80, so they're done for the week.
Is there a pitch count limit in Nebraska?
Yeah.
And Portner takes that one off the lead shoulder. Third hit by pitch, as both teams' batters not afraid to take one off the body. That'll put runners at first and second and bring to the plate second baseman Hakeem Yatim.
Batting ninth, the second baseman, Hakeem Yatim.
As we mentioned yesterday, Yatim from Jakarta, Indonesia. Somehow found his way to Madison, South Dakota to play baseball. He's at bat here. First pitch fouled, back to the net.
But you gotta remember, like 3 of those years they were playing co-op.
Top of the order awaits on deck should the inning continue. Alex had a 1-2-3 top of the first inning, has base runners on in each of the next 3 innings, but so far the Trojans have not scored. That one misses outside, 1-1 the count.
Probably talking about having Dylan kind of transfer over to play some of them.
Dakota State left 2 men on base in the second and third, have 2 men on base now in the fourth.
They need varsity bodies, but they want to keep their reserve guys down. This is Dylan.
Upstairs on the fastball.
The problem is, I mean, yeah, it would be great for some
2 balls, 1 strike to count as Alex Salicio gets back to work from the stretch. The set and the pitch. Fouled back. Good hack by your team. 2-2 the count. Alex going to try to make something happen here on this pitch. Hopefully not going to a 3-2. That would allow both base runners to get a head start. Shooting for the outside corner, misses outside, and now it is a 3-2 count with 2 outs. The runners will be going with the pitch.
Get a feel for things, too.
Richardson flashes the signal and gets ready for the pitch. Swung on and missed as your team, trying to protect the outside corner, went after it for the 4th strikeout of the game for Alex Salicio. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. After 3.5, the Bruins won and the Trojans nothing. Coming to you live from John Stella Field at Brown Park in Omaha, Nebraska.
Well, you're supposed to toss the one who's actually doing it, but since you can't tell, you just pick and choose. Sometimes the bench will get to choose who they throw out.
A couple more texts in the queue. It's a pitcher strike zone today. Yes, we would agree with that. White to white, not black to black, chin to chin. Let's go up Hackin' Bruins. That's from the Townsends up in Oregon. Great broadcasting from Robert and Lithia Ayala, grandparents of Jeremy Green. Go DSU. I believe you guys are down in Texas. Texted in yesterday. We appreciate you listening in. Hopefully you're having an enjoyable time watching the Bruins and the Trojans go at it for the conference title. Go Bruins. Go Alex. Love from your sister and cousins watching in Chula Vista, and a heart emoji as well. If you'd like to be part of our broadcast, send along a text message. Let me know who you are, where you are, who you're rooting for, any words you want me to pass along. Again, that text message number is 402-515-7654. Bruins hoping to add to their 1-run lead, which they've enjoyed since the bottom of the 1st inning. In the bottom of the 4th, right fielder Anthony Lind will start things off.
Anthony Lind.
They're Hall of Fame.
Nikolai Arbach for his 4th inning of work. Toes the rubber slightly to the third base side and delivers a breaking ball down low. Wind picking up a little bit more. That's been expected as the day goes on. Lind fouls it out of play right side. When we started the game, 62 degrees in the wind out of the west at about 10 miles an hour. It's picked up a little bit. The flag blowing out in center field. Here's the next pitch to Lind. Shows bunt, pulls it back as the pitch misses outside. That brings third baseman Dawson Fortner in on the bunt attempt. He'll stay right about in the baseline. 2-1 the count.
That would require me like having some sort of
line foul out of up against the screen. Now 2-2.
56. 907.
Let's try to be there by like
Kanta Kobayashi scored the only run of the game thus far for the Bruins. He got on by a hit by pitch, advanced on an error, and then scored on the RBI by Logan Grant.
Yeah.
First base side, Pribble, the first baseman, gets it on the second hop, and he'll head to the bag to retire Lind for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Bruins, number 27, first baseman Mathieu Sirois.
And I'll either want to keep drinking and then be
Next to the plate, first baseman, number 27, Mathieu Sirois.
Mathieu with that back foot firmly planted in the batter's box. Puts a little extra twist to get a grip. Here's the pitch from Arbach. Breaking ball, called strike one. Good location, breaking away from Sirois. That one's hit well to right field. Right fielder Macaluso at the fence, off the top of the fence, just below the yellow stripe. Mathieu will stand up double. With one away, the Bruins have another runner in scoring position. A hard hit ball opposite way. Just a couple of feet shy of going over the fence. It hit right below the yellow plastic stripe at the top of the 8-foot tall fence. 2 years ago at the 6-foot fence, that had been a home run, but a couple of years ago they raised the height from 6 feet to 8 feet. So a runner in scoring position for catcher Trad Richardson. Richardson with 30 runs batted in on the year, an opportunity here to add to that total. Foul out of play, right side.
How'd you play? You said bad, right?
Well,
They're just not good.
wasn't
Richardson getting the start behind the dish in game number 1 today.
47.
If it's any consolation, it's like 12 shots better than I would have done.
It was 11.
Arbach comes set at the letters.
Which
A little bit low, 1-1. Starting to see a lot more green in the trees. Ringing the field at John Stella Field at Brown Park. Artificial surface on the baseball field itself. On the outside corner, nice location from Nikolai Arbach, ahead in the count 1-2. 1 run on 5 hits for the Bruins so far. No runs on 3 hits for the Trojans. Swing and a miss. Sweeping breaking ball went off the edge of the plate. Richardson chased it, came up empty. Now 5 strikeouts for starting pitcher Nikolai Arbach. So it'll be up to C.J. Townsend, the Bellevue shortstop, to try to deliver an RBI hit to plate Mathieu Serrois, the runner at second base. C.J. a strikeout victim, his first time up today. Swing and a miss on a curveball. CJ looking for his first hit of the weekend. Would be a big one for the Bruins if he can deliver here. Down the right field side, that's going to tail out of play. And then carry him off the fence back into the field of play. Mason Macaluso will have to track that one down. Toss it into the Bellevue bullpen, and we will continue with the action. 0-2 to count. C.J. Townsend at the plate battling against Nikolai Arbach. And that hits C.J. He'll earn a bruise and a base on that pitch. And the Bruins down with runners at first and second. Top of the order. Here's Kanta Kobayashi. Let's see if Kanta can deliver a big one for the Bruins.
Back to the top of the order for Bellevue. The center fielder.
Kanta has scored the only run of the game so far. Let's see if he can knock home one.
First 12 holes out of 5. I need to figure out what I was
34 runs batted in at the top of the order for the Bruins. Out of Kanta this year, 2023 season.
So if I start more close, it'll stay open.
First pitch swinging, chop at the first base side. That's going to be trouble. Pribble can't quite get the play done. That's an infield single for Kanta Kobayashi. And the bases are loaded with Bruins once again. And it'll be Drew Staley with the opportunity to knock home some teammates. Jace Pribble, a first baseman, had to come get that one. The pitcher, Arbach, a little bit tardy getting over to first base to cover. Pribble had difficulty handling it, but Kanta would have beaten it out easily, either way you look at it. A visit from the assistant pitching coach for Dakota State. We saw this several times yesterday. Not going to change pitchers, but just kind of a composure timeout on the mound, as we do see some action in the Dakota State bullpen. Looks like Will Clare, a right-hander, throwing, and also now just see somebody, a left-hander, getting up to throw as well. And now home plate umpire Tim Art will head to the mound to break up the party. And as he gets there, we'll get back to the action.
I think I'm just misunderstanding what you're saying.
Alec DeMaria and Miles Como, the assistant coaches for Dakota State. Darian Hardy, the head guy.
With the club head?
All right, we're back to the action. Drew Staley awaits at the plate,
Talk me through it.
trying to push the Bruins lead from 1 to something more.
Just talk me through
Drew a single his last time up.
I can't say for sure one way.
First pitch, fastball, louder half, called strike one. Drew a sacrifice his first time up, a single his second time up as he continues to add to his batting average totals.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to try. Especially in the tournament where you have...
Way wide, 1-1.
It's going to be straight and down the middle, and Denley's going to hit the shit out of the ball.
Drew has 27 runs batted in coming into today's action.
Yeah, I saw the forecast. I'm not thrilled. It's going to be like 38 degrees.
Swing and a miss there. Now 1-2 the count.
Which was kind of what it was last year, wasn't it?
Wind picking up a little bit more, blowing out towards right field. Wind out of the west today, as opposed to the northwest like yesterday, that bitter cold direction. Let's see if Drew can make some contact. Upstairs, 2-2.
Katie and I had a third baseman.
Sirwaz at third. Townsend's at second. Kobayashi at first. Drew Staley trying to drive 1, 2, or all three of them home. Breaking ball hit in the air to left field. Green goes back to his glove hand side. He'll settle underneath it and make the catch to retire the side. Deep enough for a sacrifice fly, but with 2 outs, that's not going to happen. No runs for the Bruins on 2 hits. There were no errors and 3 left on base. Bellevue has left 5 base runners on over the last 2 innings. Both teams getting guys on, but both teams having trouble getting them home. 4 innings in the book. The Bellevue Bruins won. The Dakota State Trojans, nothing.
I mean, it was a 3-2 slow pitch game, so terrible, but like defensively, it was a really well played game.
I tried to avoid her yesterday because I asked if I could find her a job.
Within outfitting.
Let's go Bruins and Trad Richardson from 79 degrees in Frenchtown, Montana. Yes, 79. Great broadcast as always. Thank you very much.
So not exactly a glowing endorsement to push you.
No, I mean, she said.
Great job broadcasting. We were in person yesterday and watched a replay last night, watching live today. You love your baseball, don't you? Thanks for doing this. Great baseball. Go Trojans from Johnny Kirchner in Lenox, South Dakota. Lenox a little bit south of Sioux Falls, straight up Interstate 29. Glad you're listening, Johnny. Thank you for that nice compliment as well. Here we go at the top of the 5th inning, top of the order for Dakota State. The catcher, Ryan McDaniel. First pitch from Salicio, fouled back to the net. McDaniel has had a hit in all 3 of the games of this series. His hit today, leading off the top of the 1st inning. There goes the no-hitter.
But you've also been there for what? Yeah.
Fastball, outside corner, 0-2. Chopped on the ground is short. C.J. Townsend had a little difficulty with his footing, but rights himself and makes the play. 6-3 on the assist and put out. Next up in the order for the Trojans, center fielder Walker Holtgren.
Next to the plate, the center fielder, Walker Holtgren.
Leading hitter on the season for the Trojans, but 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. Off the outside edge, ball 1. A little low there, now 2-0. Holtgren from Maple Grove, Minnesota. Home of Simon's sister. Off the glove of Falcon, deflected over to second base. Drew Staley makes the play. Score that 1-4-3 as it just glanced off the glove of Alex Alicio. A little smile on his face after that play. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th inning. Trying to go for the first 1-2-3 inning since the first. Here's left fielder Jeremy Green.
Next plate, left fielder, number 13, Jeremy Green.
Green was hit by the pitch last time up. Fouled at home plate on the first pitch from Alex. 74 pitches thus far by Alex Alicio. We're in the top of the 5th inning. So right at about that 15 pitch per inning mark. 1-1 on Green.
Who lives in Maple Grove? Your sister, you said?
Green, the native of Houston, Texas.
Brother.
Lines that one just past his head coach. Darian Harry had to skip the rope to get out of the way of that one. Now 1-2 the count.
A fine place, I'm sure.
And now a few more clouds moving overhead.
Just to get to the airport.
C.J. Townsend at shortstop. Gloves it, throws it right on the money. 2 plays by C.J. in the inning. All the assists recorded by the Bruin middle infielders. A 3 up, 3 down inning for the Trojans as we head to the bottom of the 5th. The Bruins maintaining their 1-0 lead. 76. More and more people keep coming into the ballpark. That's good to see. We've got some lovely springtime weather going on in the Omaha Bellevue area after a chilly day yesterday. We actually had some better weather in March than we had for much of the month of April. Looks like we've gone up to 65 degrees currently as we've got a pitching change for the Trojans. A southpaw coming on. The new pitcher will be number 45, Alex Swack. So from 41, we go to 45, Alex Swack, the new pitcher.
Number 45, Alexander Swack.
All right, grab my stat sheet over here. Swack, just a sophomore. This is his 5th appearance on the year. No wins, no losses in 7 1/3 innings of work. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 walks to 11 strikeouts, a 1.23 earned run average. So a good ERA in limited work in this 2003 season. Alex Swack. Swack from Coralville, Iowa.
East of here.
Yes, east of here. Very good.
Coralville?
Over near Des Moines area. Okay, thank you, Tom. My standard line, if I don't know where it is in Nebraska, it's west of Omaha on the eastern edge of the state. And if I don't know where it is in Iowa, it's east of here. Bill Mullins, Bellevue Sports Information Guy, alongside me again today. Any other pertinent bits of information, Bill?
I'm just trying to survive a day at a time.
There we go. One day at a time. There we go. As the Bruins bring out the bats for the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-0 our score. 1 run on 6 hits now for the Bruins. Bellevue has had some opportunities to extend that lead. They've left 6 men on base through the first 4. Dakota State
Leads off the Bellevue.
Has also left 6 men on base.
Grant.
Logan Grant. Normally I would say the Bellevue catcher, but Logan in the DH spot today in game number 1. 1 for 2 as this lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch takes it off the top of the shoulder near the neck. That won't feel good. But he becomes a leadoff base runner as Swack tries to throw a breaking ball that didn't break very much. Well, Logan becomes the leadoff guy at first.
I mean, he wasn't throwing a special.
Third baseman Nick Grade, the next hitter in the Bellevue lineup.
That's the plate. Third baseman, Nick Grade.
And it's not like we were starting to piece balls up yet.
Defense playing Grade straight away. Nick 2 for 2.
That could be.
Make that 3 for 3 as he drives one to left field. Green chases to the corner. Here comes Grant. He'll pull in at third base. And Nick Grade, a 3 for 3 day. Throw out the hats as the Bruins get 2 runners in scoring position in this bottom of the 5th inning. So relief pitcher Alex Swack greeted rudely. And the Bruins with the opportunity here for left fielder Jake Lacey. Lacey 0 for 2 today. But 2 runners out there waiting to be driven home. A right-hander continues to throw in the Dakota State bullpen as they pull the infield up, trying to cut down a run at the plate. With nobody out, the Bruins will most likely make the ball go through. Fortner with a nice diving stop to his glove hand side and across the diamond to rob Jake Lacey of a base hit and an RBI. Tip of the cap on the plate at third baseman Dawson Fortner.
I mean, we did score 12 runs.
Next up for the Bruins, right fielder Anthony Lind.
Right fielder.
So the Dakota State defense makes the play for the first out of the inning. Let's see what Lind can do as the infield remains pulled in.
Analytics here at Bellevue.
Breaking ball misses inside.
Come on, Tony, get in the run.
Here it comes, folks.
We got 2 righties now.
Lind has some pop in his bat.
First would be a good place to get a hit, too.
Bruins again with the safety squeeze right back to the mound. Bruins will score another run. Good job by Anthony Lind getting the ball contacted right back to the mound, but good speed of Logan Grant scores easily. The Bruins up 2-0. Both runs scoring on safety squeezes.
Number 3 and number 17.
And the day will be very short for relief pitcher Alex Swack as he is done. After 2/3 of an inning, the base runner at third, Nick Grade, is also his responsibility as the call to the bullpen for Dakota State for the third pitcher of the game.
3.
All right, number 3, Will Clare. He's been warming up for a while out there. Will come on in the bottom of the 3rd. All right, let's find out more about
My Falcons just jumped.
Will Clare.
Super frustrating.
This is his 9th appearance on the year. He too is a sophomore. He started 5 games.
Now pitching for Dakota State.
Now his 4th time in relief. A 1-win, 1-loss record in 23 2/3 innings on the season. He's allowed 30 hits, 13 earned runs, has walked 12 and struck out 27, a 4.94 earned run average. Will Clare will get his 8 warm-up tosses, and then we'll get back to the action. Again, if you want to join us via text message today, the number is 402-515-7654. Mick Krupski, my name.
Their championship game started at 4:30, but you didn't expect.
Been doing Bellevue baseball broadcasts for 15 years now. Been a fun experience for me. I'm an old high school teacher and baseball coach.
I guess
And I grew up right in this neighborhood, so the house just up the hill on W Street. So it's always fun coming back to my old stomping grounds where I played many a game on this very field. Didn't look anything like this back in the day. It's gone through a couple of renovations recently, one about 15 years ago, and then again updated about 5 years ago. The field turf has been here. The infield part has been here for now 4 years. The entire field has been field turf now for 3. It's been the home of the Bellevue baseball program for the last 4+ years. All right, so with the runner at third, Nick Grade, the batter, first baseman, Mathieu Sirois.
Out the plate, the first baseman, Mathieu Sirois.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, just get the ball near the plate and we'll score plenty of runs for you.
The first pitch from Will Clare. Way upstairs. A nice glove save by Ryan McDaniel. Coming out of the crouch, having to jump to snare that one. For Anthony Lind with that RBI on the last play, he now has 38 runs batted in on the season. Sirois awaits. Another breaking ball. This one comes into the zone.
Pretty good hook.
Good downward arc on that breaking ball. Overhand curve as the wind picks up a little bit more, blowing across from left to right.
Keep throwing it, but
Upstairs on the fastball, 2-1. Sirois looking for a pitch to hit.
Matt can go hit the barn over there.
Plays off that pitch outside, 3-1.
Pretty much sit fastball.
Here's where you sit on your favorite pitch in your favorite spot in the strike zone. If it's not it or there, you take it.
But they probably wouldn't be upset with it.
Mathieu lays off that pitch. It clips the outside corner. Good plate discipline. But now the count is full. Now he'll have to expand his zone a little bit, as we've mentioned a couple times. A big strike zone today, so be defensive. Breaking ball, and it's called strike 3. Mathieu thought it was low, but good enough for the home plate umpire, Tim Hart, and the side is retired. For the Bruins, 1 run on 2 hits. Excuse me, 1 hit. The double by Nick Grade. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. 5 innings in the book. The Bellevue Bruins 2. The Dakota State Trojans nothing. Alex Alicio back to the mound for the Bruins as he enters his 6th inning of work.
I mean, it definitely got a lot of play.
Yeah, for sure.
2 runs on 7 hits for Bellevue. No runs on 3 hits, 1 error for Dakota State. As we head to the top of the 6th inning in this scheduled 9-inning contest. 4 innings to go. Hopefully not another 15-inning contest like we saw in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. 6-6 after 7 innings. And then a long scoreless streak, 7 innings of scoreless ball before the Trojans picked up a 3 spot in the top of the 15th. Longest game Bellevue has played, at least until 2003, I think Bill said yesterday. And then before that, the records are kind of sketchy. For the Trojans, it'll be right fielder Mason Macaluso to lead things off. Macaluso, the number 4 hole spot in the lineup. Grounded out his last time up. First pitch, fastball, strike 1 called. Breaking ball, chop foul. 0-2. That one kind of pinballs inside the dugout up the third base side. There's a protective netting in front of both dugouts, but If the ball hit just right, it can go over the top of the net and then bang around inside the dugout, the concrete block. That'll scatter a few bodies. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Trying to shoot away. Macaluso able to check his swing. Now 1-2 the count. Macaluso was an all-conference selection last year in the North Star. Line hard. One hop. Drew Staley handles it. And there's one away in the 6th inning. 5 in a row put down by Alex Salicio in the Bellevue defense. Next up, first baseman Jace Pribble.
Tried really hard, but no one else wanted to. Would you come back?
Next to the plate, first baseman Jace Pribble.
How did you feel? You did?
Salicio from the windup. First pitch, strike one on the inside corner. Pribble
Close to 30.
started a swing, couldn't hold it up. It was in the zone anyway. Good location up under the hands of the first baseman. Same location, just a little bit inside and up. 1-1 the count. Pitching coach Sean Malley signaling in to catcher Trad Richardson. Breaking ball, that's a nice location. Again, on that inner half, trying to tie up Pribble. 1-2 the count. They have a little electronic device. You might be able to see the little wire hanging down off the back of the mask of Richardson. Chopped on the ground to short. C.J. Townsend from the backhand. Long throw across the diamond. Matuser, wow, with a pick on the in-between hop. 6-3. Play once again. That's the third assist for C.J. in the last inning and 2/3. As Pribble returns to the dugout, next batter will be the shortstop, Chris Burke. Burke 1 for 2, a single his last time up.
I don't know, but they only had like 6 or 7.
Called strike one. Again, Alex has been ahead of just about every hitter today, doing a nice job of working in front. The windup and the pitch. Again on that inside part, and another called strike.
You didn't happen to notice like where their kids are from.
Alex shakes off the first couple of signals. Now finds one he likes. Tries to get Burke to chase upstairs, but he holds off. Now 1-2 the count.
Do they make you do like a bunch of ad reads?
Breaking ball misses in. 2-2.
Get through the
Once you get to
lineups,
the lineups and you do, because
and it's like you
yeah,
more
the
stuff.
stupid sportsmanship thing and the national anthem.
Don't be an asshole. Yeah.
Burke, a senior from Volga, South Dakota. Chopper up the side.
They do, so then you do your
Reminds me of the old Volga Boatmen song.
planning, and you have to do a couple of, here's the concessions, here's where,
They're not sponsored by Borscht.
1-2 the count once again.
just a couple little,
Popped in the air to the right side. Will there be room for Sirois? There will not, as it lands on the top of the Bellevue batting cage, about 7 or 8 feet out of play. Hey, we mentioned Tanner Lusk earlier on, striking out Cancer Day in her memory. We also want to recognize former Bellevue player Peyton Higgins, fighting his own battle against non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Last year was his final season. Little chopper back to Salicio. Alex will run it halfway over to first, underhand toss. And the side is retired. Back-to-back, 3 up, 3 down innings for Alex Salicio and the Bellevue Bruin defense. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, the Bruins 2 and the Trojans nothing. So we hope Peyton is doing well. If he's listening in, continue the battle. We hope things continue to go well for you. He came back and participated in a couple of games last year on Senior Day. That was very inspirational. So Peyton, we hope you're doing great. A couple more text messages. Hey, here's a shout out to the roommates, Walker, Aiden, Jace, and Mason. That's from Noah, born and raised in Bellevue, but now living in Madison, South Dakota. All right.
It's all scripted.
Thanks, Noah, for being part of our broadcast today. Good job, Nick. Keep it up. From the Luthers, listening in. I'm assuming that's Brendan Luther's family listening up in Canada, suburb of Toronto, Mississauga, Toronto, Canada. Go Bruins go. My mother back in Quebec City said there was no sound a while ago, but I think we've got that corrected. So glad you're watching on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. And a shout out to fellow Maple Grove native Walker Holtgren and to my brother-in-law Simon Falcon, the public address announcer today. Looking forward to you becoming an amazing uncle in July from Simon's sister living up there in Minnesota. Glad you're with us today. Here, we'll let Simon do the introduction.
Brad Richardson.
Yeah, I tried to.
All right, we got a little bit of that intro there. Here's Travis Richardson leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Breaking ball fouled, right side, out of play. Relief pitcher Will Clare back on for his first full inning of relief work, coming in with 2 outs in the last inning. Out of play again, right side.
I think they could handle soccer.
Well, you have someone kind of walking you through parts of it.
It's literally goal, corner kick. Like, they don't announce fouls.
Right.
They don't really
0-2 the count on Trad. Catching game number 1 today for the Bruins.
Like, obviously at our level.
Stays alive, heads up on deck there. C.J. Townsend almost wore that line drive. Sharply hit near the Bellevue bench.
I know Simon doesn't want to do this.
Richardson 0 for 2 so far today. Trying to get things started on the right foot for the Bruins in the bottom of the 6th. Lays off the breaking ball.
This one, it's all in front of you. You just select stuff from it. It's really simple.
The hold, and now the pitch. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. The strikeout is the second of the game for Will Clare. He struck out both batters he has faced since coming on in relief in the last inning. Next up for the Bruins, shortstop, C.J. Townsend, a busy guy with the glove.
The shortstop, number 7, C.J. Townsend.
Trying to become a base runner in this bottom of the 6th inning. Skies continue to cloud up. We're not anticipating any rain. I mean, there's a slight chance, like 10% chance of some scattered showers, but the sun always makes it feel warmer and more fun to be outside. Winds out of the west today at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chopper up the third base side. Portner can handle the play down the line. That'll be an infield single for CJ. Tough hop. Portner trying to wait for it to come down, but then couldn't make the play on the transition. So CJ will be the one-out base runner for the Bruins. And Kanta Kobayashi back to the plate.
At least come out and take a look at it, you know.
Home plate umpire Tim Hart goes over to get a fresh supply of baseballs. And then we'll be back to the action.
Back to the top of the order.
Kanta 1 for 2 today. Scored the first run of the game in the first after being hit by a pitch. Townsend with the lead at first. Breaking ball misses down low. Clare has nice movement on his breaking ball, mostly down and in to the left-handed batter, Kanta Kobayashi. Runner goes, hit and run on, but it's a foul ball past head coach Dwayne Monlix in the third base coaching box.
Catcher almost wore that bat, too. He was coming forward real fast.
The old Ichiro approach.
Yeah.
Kanta started his college career at Citrus College in California, then played 1 year at Gonzaga. Now in his second year at Bellevue. 2-1 the count.
Are you sure Salas transferred? Yeah. Why? Good NIL money?
Kobayashi trying to bunt his way out, puts it up the third base line, perfectly located once again. Kanta Kobayashi with the bunt single. The Bruins have runners at first and second. Second hit of the game for Kanta.
No, we have 2 doubles.
Out of
Sorry.
7 hits.
Kanta had 2 hits in yesterday's second game. He had a couple of hits, 3 hits in game number 2, so another great weekend for Kanta. At the plate for the Bruins, second baseman Drew Staley. Another chance for the Bruins to add to their current 2-0 lead.
Caught up to 182 hits now.
182 hits in the career of Kanta Kobayashi, the 2-year career at Bellevue University.
He's number 12 on the list.
Number 12 all time in Bellevue history after just less than 2 years. Strike one to Drew Staley on the first pitch, the breaking ball for Claire. He'll come set just above the belt, double look. Back to second base. Drew a little bit late on that swing. Townsend at second, Kobayashi at first. 1-2 the count. 0-2 the count on second baseman Drew Staley. Drew is 1 for 2 today.
Play at least 2 or 3 in the opening round. That's
Popped up, but it'll get out of play right side.
a little tight, but
Over behind the Bellevue dugout.
it's over 2 hits a game. Yeah, he would need 18. That's a lot. Go back to Lewis, didn't you like your chances?
Bellevue has left 7 runners on base through the first 5 innings, trying to cash in the 6th. That's a little one out to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. A good read at second by C.J. Townsend. He's heading for home. The throw comes in. It's not in time. An RBI single by Drew Staley. Off the top of the bat, found a green spot, and a good read by C.J. Townsend to see it was going to drop as the Bruins take a 3-0 lead. With runners at first and second now and 1 away, designated hitter Logan Grant steps in to try to add more. Bellevue with single runs in the 1st, 5th, and 6th thus far. Claire delivers, swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup there as Grant was out in front and on top of that.
Pretty much just copied the text you sent me and said after.
10 hits now on the game for the Bruin batters. That breaking ball misses away. 1-1 the count on Grant.
Of course not.
Another breaking ball that pops into the zone. 1-2.
Last year was like 24, 25. Okay, so it should be
Logan 1 for 2 thus far today. Fastball fouled out of play.
No, about 3 weeks ago, they said that they still needed 6 or 7 teams. I don't know if that was
That RBI by Drew Staley, his 28th of the year.
I honestly, like, a month ago, it was, they only had like 5.
Drew gets his lead off of first. Kanta his lead off of second. Grant awaits at the plate. Breaking ball, chop foul. That one goes into the Bellevue dugout. So both dugouts have been scattered in the game.
I haven't seen it advertised anywhere. Like, I know that I don't follow them everywhere, but like I feel like that stuff would pop
It's
up.
been posted on Bellevue Twitter.
Chopped on the ground to second base. Only one play for Hakeem Yateem. That's at first base as Logan Grant makes it a close play, hustling down the line.
What was Logan trying to do? Sidestep the bat?
4-3 on the play. Kobayashi moves to third. Staley moves to second as Nick Grade, the third baseman, steps to the plate. Nick Grade, hitting star of the day so far, 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double. Let's see how Dakota State will approach him with an open base at first. Breaking ball, called strike one. That's been the best pitch for Will Clare. That overhand breaking ball, breaking down and across. for a right-handed hitter. Infield at regular depth with 2 outs. Chopper, third base, foul ball.
I don't have to do anything other than show up, right?
Again, an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Hit it at center field. Base hit. 1 run's going to score easily. Here comes the second runner around third. The throw to the plate is not in time. 2 runs batted in by Nick Grade on an 0-2 pitch. He singled right back through the middle. Kobayashi and Staley score on the play, and the Bruins take a 5-0 lead with a 3 spot in the 6th inning. For Nick Grade, RBIs 48 and 49 on the year. And the inning continues with left fielder Jake Lacey. Lacey shows bunt, pulls it back as the pitch misses up and away. Jake 0 for 3. Low and away, now 2-0.
Implement an open door policy. Even if they're not on board, let people come and observe, and then maybe they'll want to be on board.
Jake, a home run yesterday in game number 1. Outside of that, though, he's kind of struggled at the plate in this series. Takes a called strike there, up and in. Normally hitting in the 3 holes, dropped down to the 5 spot today.
Just use team sideline or something.
Lays off that breaking ball down low. 3-1 count. Hitters count. Dwayne Monlick's going through signs. Let's see if he might put Nick Grade in motion here on the run and hit. Stays there, chopped on the ground. Portner with a nice glove play. The throw is in time. Another great play at third base by Dawson Portner to retire Jake Lacey 5-3. A couple of highlight reel plays by the Dakota State third baseman. The Bruins do pick up 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. A big inning for the Bruins through 6 innings of play. The Bellevue Bruins 5, the Dakota State Trojans nothing.
92. You got 1 more. 2 more innings. Who are we bringing in today?
One more text message in the queue for between innings. Let's go Trojans. Mommy is one of your biggest fans, King Green. Okay, thanks for joining us today.
Jared could come back. You should have bailed him out. Should have.
I don't know if they give Kenji chances.
I think you save Kenji for the backup Easton. If Easton gives up a couple bombs early, you want him out of there ASAP. And Kenji, I trust him. He's more long. He's more.
And our friend Mr. Sunshine pops out for a little bit longer here and just as quickly goes back away. We're starting to get a buildup of some fluffy cumulus clouds overhead at John Stella Field at Brown Park as we get ready for the top of the 7th inning. Starter Alex Licio has gone all the way, 92 pitches to this point for Alex. The first man he will face here is Cade Wenninger, the designated hitter. Strike called on the outside edge. On the outside edge, once again, Alex off to an 0-2 start. Alex started his college career at Southwestern College of California. Line into center field for a base hit. So from an 0-2 count, Cade Wenninger delivers the hit to start things off in the 7th inning. That breaks up the streak of 7 consecutive retired by Alex Alicio. Here's third baseman Dawson Portner.
Dawson Portner.
Couple of nice defensive plays for Dawson in this series.
So she was sitting with some of the JV parents that just
Pitch up and in.
either his cousin or his friends on the reserve team.
Okay.
And they were like, yeah, I've not got an email whatsoever. Well, the deadline was April 15th to reserve rooms, and somehow nobody has any rooms reserved.
In the zone there, evens the count 1-1.
Sounds right.
Portner hit by a pitch his last time up, grounded out his first appearance.
So
Down by 5 runs, Dakota State will probably have to play it conservatively on the base paths. Foul back to the screen now, 1-2.
if you sold 10, you got a helmet with, and they put, so everybody had the same helmet.
Wenninger, good speed at first base.
They didn't get the helmets until, like, we showed up the day of the first game.
But again, down by 5, you're not going to take too many chances.
One helmet.
Just misses the inside corner. 2-2 the count.
Ended up having to trade because the one that Dylan had initially was too small for us.
Bellevue looking for something on the ground to turn a possible double play.
If you sold for every 5 additional, then you sold
Chopped off the body of
15, 20,
Portner.
you got, there was a list of items that you had to pick from.
And that stings quite a bit. Been there, done that. He'll need a moment or two to get the
Jacket,
blood flow back in that left foot.
a tumbler, just stuff like that. Like a fleece pullover.
Still kind of a grimace on the face of Dawson Portner. Now he's back in the batter's box as play continues.
So
Salicio comes set.
days ago, they all had them off, so they all practiced.
Fouled back to the net once again.
At the end of practice, and well, some of you didn't get your orders in, so now it's delayed everybody's order, and so I don't know. Well, why are you doing that? Why are you holding the people that actually gave you their order? Why are you
Here's another 2-2 pitch.
top of the law?
Down low. Count goes full.
Listen, I'll tell you another story. I'm just saying, but
Alex nearing the 100 pitch mark.
when you hear raffle tickets the first week,
Okay.
then you got a gift card to a local
Quick throw over to first base. Wenninger back in plenty of time. Action in the Bellevue bullpen as the wind picking up a little bit more, blowing from left to right. Chopped and through, base hit. Into left field by Dawson Portner. That'll put runners at first and second. And nobody out. And bring to the plate second baseman Hakeem Yatim.
6.
Okay.
So anyways, so Dylan, we didn't play Thursday. We didn't have anything Thursday.
5 hits now in the game for Dakota State. Bellevue has 11 and enjoying a 5-0 lead. Let's see if your team will be called on to bunt from the 9 spot in the order.
Mom and I will just make something.
Try to cut a little bit into the deficit by moving 2 into scoring position. He's allowed to swing away, takes a called strike 1.
Wasn't loaded.
No money. So he reached out to the coach and he goes, my gift card had no money on it. He goes, yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. They
Richardson puts down the signal
placements here, so
for Salicio. Fouled back, 0-2.
placement here the next couple of days. Yeah.
Alex had some guys on base early in the game.
Class B, just saying.
3 up, 3 down efforts in the 5th and 6th. Now 2 on, nobody out in the 7th. Richardson sets up outside on a waste or chase pitch.
That's what strike
Your team settles back in.
single level ever
Jim
in
and
that.
Dylan both said that he was just pounding pitches like belly button to like between the belly button.
I mean, above belly button, fine. I don't like it.
Hit it in the air to center field. Kanta Kobayashi now has to go back a couple of steps. He'll make the catch. The tag at second base. The throw will be cut off by Townsend at shortstop. They'll appeal to second base. And they say Wenninger left appropriately. So 1 out in the inning. Wenninger now at third base. Portner has to hold it first. Back to the top of the order, but first, here comes Dwayne Monlux out of the dugout, and that looks like it'll be the end of the afternoon for starting pitcher Alex Salicio. A great effort by Alex. No runs, allowing only 5 hits. Dwayne Mollix will take the ball from him, and Alex will get a hug as well. And a nice salute from the fans and teammates as Alex Alicio heads to the Bellevue dugout, giving his team a great chance to win this opening game of the doubleheader. Cade?
No, that's Kenji.
Kenji Miller will come on for the Bellevue Bruins.
Just get him to the 9th and then go to Rock. So then you only need 5 outs. 5 outs if you give up 2 runs.
Number 11, Kenji Miller. Kenji was injured in the very first game of the season for the Bruins. Spent a couple of months on the injured list and then has appeared in a couple of games recently in the last week plus, so he'll get the call in relief here. The southpaw. This is his 4th appearance on the season.
At least they're cheaper than
2 wins, no losses in 5 1/3 innings worth of work. He's allowed 5 runs, has walked 4 and struck out 6. So Kenji Miller on in relief for the Bellevue Bruins
they're hoping you forgot about it.
in the top of the 7th inning. Kenji, just a sophomore, the southpaw from Shoreline, Washington. Another one of the Washington State crew, part of the Bellevue program.
And then when we played Legion, because Legion's not tied to high schools in Connecticut, it's tied by where you live. So your Legion uniform is complete. It doesn't.
Not a big strikeout total day for Alex Alicio. He had 3, all of them coming in the first 3 innings. Was very effective of keeping the ball down. All 6 outs recorded in the 5th and 6th were on ground balls.
Back to the top of the order for the Trojans. Catcher, Ryan McDaniel.
Top of the order. Catcher Ryan McDaniel with runners at 1st and 3rd and 1 away. Kenji Miller on in relief for the Bruins. Bellevue middle infield at double play depth. Kenji working with catcher Trad Richardson. Here's the first pitch. Back foot slider, low and in. McDaniel comes right out of his ankle guard. Now he'll put that Velcro strap back on and get back in the box. 1-0 the count on the Trojan catcher. That's going to be a base hit to center field. Kanta Kobayashi tries to do a little fake that it was going to go further. And the first run of the game across for the Trojans off the bat of catcher Ryan McDaniels. Oh, Portner now at second. McDaniels courtesy runner Daniel Lesher checks in.
Courtesy runner at first base for the Trojans, number 2, Daniel Lesher.
But 10 years down the road, it could be
5-1 now our score as Dakota State with 6 hits on the game. The batter, Walker Holtgren, takes a pitch, low and away, ball 1. Holtgren, the leading hitter on the squad, coming in at .410 on the season. Hitless though today, 0 for 3.
it's a different direction.
C.J. Townsend, the shortstop, trying to keep the runner at second close. Fouled off the bat of Holtgren. Holtgren happy to see Salicio off the mound. He struck out twice against Alex. Miller, double look, the runner back to second base, shoots for the outside corner, gets the call. 0-2 the count on the 2-hole hitter, Walker Holtgren. Blocked up nicely by Trad Richardson behind the plate. Now 1-2 the count. Make that 2-2 the count. Chopper, first base side. That's in foul territory. Play made over there by one of the Dakota State assistant coaches. Coaching in the first base box.
But he's also not going to develop playing for reserve against kids that just shouldn't be playing baseball.
Bruins looking for a strikeout or a ground ball that could be turned into a double play. The 2-2. A little flare, but that'll get out of play. Holtgren just a little safety swing there. He'll stay alive for another pitch. Miller comes set at the letters. Here's the 2-2 pitch once again. That one's through into right field. Anthony Lind on the charge. His throw to home plate will be cut off as the runner stops at third. Portner will be at third. Lesher will be at second. And back-to-back base hits by Dakota State has Walker Holtgren at first base. Three-hole hitter, left fielder Jeremy Green steps to the plate. Green 0 for 2 today. Again, a little kiss of the barrel of the bat as he steps into the batter's box. Just one out in the inning. Back-to-back base hits for Dakota State. Comebacker up the middle, bounces over the top. Here's C.J. Townsend, a nice play, but he'll get the out call, but the run will score. Dawson Portner scores from third. Credit Jeremy Green with an RBI, 6-3 on that play. Each of the runners moves up 90 feet. Now a 6-2 score. Bang, bang play at first base. Green out. And that'll bring to the plate now with 2 outs the right fielder, Mason Macaluso. 5-2 our score. 2 spot in this inning. The pitch from Miller is low. 4 hits in the inning for Dakota State. Miller trying to hold it down here against Macaluso.
The pickoff.
A little number off the top of the bat, skews over to Drew Staley behind second base. The trajectory of that one right off the top of the bat, it started on the third base side of the mound and then skewed back to Drew Staley, who makes the play to retire the side. 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base in the top of the 7th inning. Our score now, the Bellevue Bruins 5, the Dakota State Trojans 2. So close the book on Alex Alicio. He will allow 2 runs in the game, striking out 3, and 5 base hits. Will Clare back to the mound for Dakota State, trying to keep the Bruins at bay. Bellevue will send up Lind, Sirois, and Richardson to face him in this bottom of the 7th inning.
You can really only ask to play for this one. Oh, I can't wait. Sounds good. Is your coach?
One final call out there for a text message if you still like to join us today on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. 402-515-7654. Mick Krupski with you, bringing you this broadcast on a much nicer day today. Although it's gotten cloudier as the day has gone on, it's still a lot more comfortable than it was yesterday with temperatures right around 50 degrees and a cool breeze out of the northwest.
Bill said he likes that weather, though.
Only Eskimos like that weather. Bottom of the 7th inning for the Bruins. Right fielder Anthony Lind steps up to lead things off.
Leading off for the Bruins.
Which is an explanation.
Right fielder Anthony Lind.
Second year in the program for Anthony, the graduate of Omaha Central High School. He played in a handful of games last year, making a big impact this year.
Well,
first pitch, strike 1 called on the swing.
I got nothing for you there.
Number 19, Dwayne Monlux, hustling down to the third base coaching box.
You say no, but then you tell us you can't see the play.
The Omaha Central Eagle, Anthony Lind. Fastball, third base. Portner again with the glove. And across the diamond with the throw, 5-3 on the play. Next up for the Bruins, first baseman, Mathieu Sirois. And the wind now starting to gust even stronger. That flag in center field, that's as stiff as it's been all day long.
Dang it, Bobby.
Blowing straight out to right field. Sirois takes the first pitch for a called strike one.
I don't know that I necessarily like the taste of charcoal pool better. I just like the smell of the charcoal. Which means I like the smell of light fluid.
On the outside part, once again, 0-2. Two nicely located fastballs from Will Clare. Clare allowed 3 runs for the Bruins in the last inning. That overhand breaking ball misses upstairs.
Probably break out my lawnmower because my lawn is a little shaggy at the moment. Last week it was fine, and then this week with all the rain we had, it's just...
The flag and the batting eye out in center field blowing up a storm. Sirois swing and a miss. The strikeout is the second out of the inning.
You want to make some money?
Mathieu now 1 for 4 today.
But does he like money?
Bruin catcher Trad Richardson next up. Trad looking for his first hit of the afternoon.
He doesn't value money.
Bruins have 11 total.
The catcher, number 13, Trad Richardson.
He doesn't want a job. He wants to have his own money.
He wants to go. Apparently, he wants to go see because apparently the Zoom.
Breaking ball, that's a base hit. Trad lines that one into left field past the diving Dawson Portner. He'll round first base and then head back to the bag. And as the Bruin catcher, he'll have a courtesy runner coming in. That will be Takumi Maeno, the courtesy runner.
Courtesy running at first base for Bruins is Takumi Maeno.
Pinch hitter.
And a pinch hitter at the plate for the Bruins. That'll be number 22, Hubba Hubba. Cade Sakamoto coming on to pinch hit, the senior out of Bakersfield, California. We have seen Cade launch some massive shots out of John Stella Field at Brown Park. He had a 2-home run game earlier this season. So Maeno, the runner at first. Sakamoto, the man at the plate, lays off a high fastball.
I would have swung through that. It looked like a complete idiot.
He probably could have hit that.
Cade, 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in on the season, a .455 average. Versatile player. Can swing the bat. Also has come in multiple times as a relief pitcher. 1-1 as he takes that one. Left-handed batter steps in. This would be a nice time with the wind blowing straight out to right field for him to get something in the air. Opposite field and on a play. 1-2 the count. Pitcher Will Clare against batter Cade Sakamoto. The set, the pitch. Again, opposite field, out of play. Count remains 1-2.
I think he's guessing. He's expecting an off-speed pitch because the curveball is pretty good, but he's...
Again, Clare comes set. Sakamoto lays off the high pitch. Count evens up at 2-2. 1 on, 2 out. After Trad Richardson singled, Takumi Maeno, his courtesy runner at first base, gets his lead. The 2-2 pitch. Chop, that's through for a base hit. Cade Sakamoto delivers a big hit to keep the inning going, advancing Maeno to second base. So the Bruins now with 2 outs but 2 on after back-to-back base hits.
CJ's coming back into run.
C.J. Townsend will re-enter the game. He'll be back on to run.
Courtesy running at first base for the Bruins. Number 7.
And the top of the order,
He's not first running, he's just re-entering.
here's Kanta Kobayashi. So a nice job there by Cade
Contact, Kobayashi.
to get a good pitch to hit and drive it into the right field hole.
Yeah. Yep.
Kanta's had singles his last 2 times up. Got underneath that one, it'll get out of play.
Oh, that had double all over it, too.
with the wind blowing straight out to right field. 0-1 count on Kanta Kobayashi. Kanta does have 3 home runs on the year. Breaking ball, back door, called strike 2. No, Kanta will go into protect mode here.
It was fine.
It warmed up really fast. I have my heavy coat on. Trying, like I said, I never wear
Up and away, 1-2.
I've worn more heavy coat more this spring than I've worn since I bought it.
Yeah, you're usually a hoodie and
Chance for the Bruins to add more to their total. 3-run lead at 5-2. Kobayashi awaits.
right.
Fouled out of play.
I told you we had that part on Wednesday, right? This past Wednesday.
Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah.
Winds gusting over 30 miles per hour. Having one of those right now. Kanta stays alive once again, following that straight back. Second time Kobayashi
That's where she was as far as like
has faced Will Clare since he came on in relief in the 5th.
2 things left that she was planning to do Monday, which was about when her 30 days is up, even though it was actually last Thursday.
Missing inside.
He just wanted to make sure she was.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on.
He doesn't seem to be a big fan of her, so I think when it goes to trials,
Important battle right now between Clare and Kobayashi. Runners go. Chopped on the ground to second base, yet team gloves it. The play at first is in time, and the side is retired. So the Bruins threaten once again, but come up empty in the bottom of the 7th inning. No runs on 2 hits, both of them coming with 2 outs. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. Bellevue has left runners on in the last 5 consecutive innings, but still enjoy a 5-2 lead. Kenji Miller back to the mound for the Bruins for his 2nd inning of relief work, replacing starter Alex Salicio. Go Bruins! Really enjoying the broadcast. Thanks. Fans since 2016. That's Joe Moran's parents. Hey, I remember Joe. Yeah, one of the greatest starts to a Bellevue career history. I think he was 7 for 7 his first 7 at-bats as a Bellevue Bruin, something like that. 6, 7, 8 in a row. Glad you guys are with us once again on the Bellevue Bruin Sports Network. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Guess where that comes from? Hubba, hubba, base hits from Cade Sakamoto's dad, listening in out in Bakersfield. Glad you're with us all season long on the Bellevue Bruin Sports Network. Middle part of the order in the top of the 8th inning. 5-hole hitter, first baseman Jace Pribble will start it off for the Trojans. Kenji started his college career at Everett Community College before becoming a Bellevue Bruin. He'll get the first pitch in the 8th inning. Pribble will follow out a play up the first base side.
Washington, which is also west of Omaha.
Kenji looks in, shakes off the first signal from Richardson, now delivers the second pitch. 1-1 the count. The southpaw looks in and delivers once again. Down low. 2-1, advantage to the hitter.
That's going to drive you guys nuts for the next 30 minutes.
I'll just go get some.
There's a fastball located outer half. Evens the count at 2-2. Kenji, the 6'2 sophomore, wearing number 11 on his jersey. That one gets through. Count goes full at 3-2. Trying to keep the leading lady off the bases in the top of the 8th inning. Left field, Lim coming hard, and he'll make the catch. Hit well off the bat of Jace Pribble, but Anthony Lynn making the play for out number 1 in the 8th inning. Next up, the shortstop, Chris Burke. Burke 1 for 3 today.
It's, no, you have 2, right? It's only 5 for 2, right?
Stepping to the plate, the shortstop, Chris Burke.
I'm a little worried there for a second. I'm not trying to pull out.
Fouled at the plate, strike 1. Strike 2, outside edge. Miller working ahead. Working quickly. Next pitch is bounced down low.
It is amazing the difference between the Bellevue and Omaha locations for quality.
Really? I think the Bellevue was way better. I can see that.
Backdoor breaking ball stays wide. 2-2 the count on Chris Burke, the Trojan shortstop.
Oh, yeah, you come.
7 hits on the game for Dakota State batters to this point.
So you're not
Kenji shakes off now once, but twice. Fouled out of play by Burke.
saying. I love it. Oh my God. You're thinking back, man.
Fucking journey.
Talk about
I mean,
it,
it's
man.
an old town now, man.
You took a pit stop at the cabin, took a little monument.
The wind and the pitch. Again, a foul ball. Count remains at 2-2. 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Bruins with a 3-1 lead at 5-2. Swing on and miss. Looked like a changeup there as it kind of dove down and away from Chris Burke. The strikeout, the first of the game for Kenji Miller. 4th combined between Miller and Salicio. The next batter, designated hitter, Cade Wenninger.
Cade Wenninger.
Wenninger got a hit and scored the first run of the game for Dakota State his last time up. Fastball outside black, called strike 1. Foul back now, 0-2.
This time you want first arm out of the pen?
Yeah.
The sunshine has returned to Brown Park. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kenji Miller as Wenninger can't get the bat out far enough for that. A 3-up, 3-down, top of the 8th inning. As we head to the bottom of the 8th, Bellevue batters trying to add a little bit more insurance. Our score, the Bruins 5, the Trojans 2. Again, this battle for the top spot in the North Star Athletic Association regular season. Coming into today's action, Dakota State with a 24-2 record in conference. Bellevue with a 23-3 record. So the Bruins needing to sweep the doubleheader if they're going to be the regular season champions. Back to the mound goes Will Clare for another inning of relief work. He came on in the 5th. So 2 1/3 innings worth of relief work, plus more from Will Clare. 2, 3, 4 spots of the Bellevue order.
Sally didn't give up a home run, so the streak comes to an end.
All right, so I was trying not to mention that during the course of the whole game. Alex has been bitten by the home run ball this year, so his streak of giving up a home run ball in each of the games he has started this year comes to an end. So tip of the cap for the good start. Quality start for Alex Salicio today for the Bruins. Here we go at the bottom of the 8th inning. Second baseman Drew Staley will lead things off. Drew hitting in the 2-hole spot today.
Leading off for BU.
He's liking it. 2 for 3, a run scored and a sacrifice. First pitch from Will Clare. Up high, ball 1. Breaking ball Ball 2. So a good start in the count for Drew Staley. Drew a .490 on-base percentage coming into today's action. Popped up to shallow center field. The wind really pushing it there. Holtgren, the center fielder, has to go a long way, kind of a banana route to get to the ball, but he stays with it for the first out of the inning. We started off, the wind was very gentle, but as the day has gone on, the winds have picked up. Expect that to continue for the rest of today's doubleheader. Next up for the Bruins, designated hitter Logan Grant.
Logan Grant.
Grant 1 for 3. Fouled straight back.
Really like pickles and fries.
Alright. I always buy pickles at the store. They seem to do a good enough job.
Chopped on the ground to second base. Yatim on the field and the throw, and there are 2 away in the 8th inning. Nick Grade will try to keep the innings alive. Nick had a big base hit for the Bruins, a 2-out base hit, drove in 2 runs in the 6th to help push the Bruins
First off, I don't like
to the 5 spot on the board.
Third baseman.
Secondly,
Grade.
First pitch swing, a little flare out in the shallow right field. Hakeem Yatim will take a couple steps into the outfield to make the catch to retire the side. A 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the 8th inning for the Bruins. Now it's up to the Bruins pitcher and defense to try to hold down and win this first game of the doubleheader. Kenji Miller back to the mound to try to pick up his team and make tomorrow, or to make the second game, the critical one in winning the conference regular season title.
Changes.
Everything's the same defensively for the Bruins, as Kenji Miller back to try to close this one down and tie these 2 teams for the lead in the North Star Athletic Association regular season title. Kenji will be facing the 5-6-7 spot, the 8-9-1 spot of the order for Dakota State. Portner, Yatim, and McDaniel, the first 3 scheduled to hit. Here's third baseman Dawson Portner.
Yeah, 5
Portner 1 for 2 today.
Leading off for the Trojans. Third baseman Dawson Portner.
Here's the first pitch. On the knees for a called strike 1. Chop third base. Nick Grade with a backhanded play right near the bag. Throw across the diamond is in time. Nicely done by the Bruin third baseman, Nick Grade. And they're 1 out in the inning. Grade was a Gold Glove winner back in his JUCO days, flashing the leather all season long for the Bruins. Next up, second baseman Hakeem. Pinch hitter here. Nope, it is Yatim. He's a switch hitter. Sorry about that. Yatim now batting from the right side against the left-handed pitcher.
I mean, if Kenji's going good, let's just start in game 4.
Breaking ball, a little bit low. 1-1 the count on the Trojan second baseman. Chopper. Second base counterpart, Drew Staley makes the play. And the Trojans are down to the final bullet. Trailing 5-2, the top of the order. Catcher Ryan McDaniel trying to keep the Trojans' hopes alive.
Stepping in the batter's box, Ryan McDaniel.
First pitch on the outside edge, called strike 1. Does Kenji qualify for a save here? He came on. He won't get the full 3 innings.
I will double check.
Line hard, and Kenji makes the grab on the comebacker. Nice reactions by the southpaw to spear that one off the bat of Ryan McDaniels.
Winner take all.
The final score.
And the final score, the Bellevue Bruins 5, the Dakota State Trojans 2. That means the next game, the second game of the doubleheader, the final game of the regular season, will decide which team will be the North Star Athletic Association champions. For the Bruins, 5 runs on 13 hits. They committed 1 error. For the Trojans, 2 runs on 7 hits. They too committed 1 error. Winning pitcher Alex Salicio for the Bruins, a save to Kenji Miller. No save. Okay, so he was 1 out away from a 3-inning save and didn't have a save situation when he came into the game. So anyway you look at it, this next game will determine who the North Star champion will be. With the victory, Bellevue now 40-8 overall, 24-3 in conference. For Dakota State, with the loss, they're 34-15, also 24-3 in conference play. It is now just about 2:30. We will be back at about 3 o'clock with that league championship deciding second game of the doubleheader. Keep it right here for more. Mick Krupski signing off for now on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network.
Hopefully I get this one too.